Hi guys, and welcome to week 5 of our distance learning. Today's lesson is going to be around letter sounds and letters. So that's identifying a letter in the alphabet when it's not in the right order. It could be anywhere. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to look at some high frequency words. So if you want, for this activity, you're going to need a piece of paper. You're going to need something to write with and maybe something to help you draw some straight lines with if you can find anything. I don't have any rulers at my house, so I actually just found a book that has a nice straight edge that I can use to help draw my lines. It's going to help guide my lines. Now, I have a template attached to the email that was sent out to our class. It looks like this. You can, if you have a printer at home, you can use this, and that would be awesome. But if you don't have a printer at home, that's totally okay. I just want you to take a look at this. This is what we're going to try to make. Now, it doesn't have to be 5 squares by 5 squares. You can make it any size you want. I'm thinking for myself, I might just make a little one that's 4 by 4 instead, because it's just a little bit smaller, maybe a little bit easier for me at this point. So I'm going to take my straight edge and my drawing utensil. I think I'll use a pencil for this one, just in case I make a mistake. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my paper, and I'm going to take my straight edge and I'm going to put it down on here, and I'm just going to draw a straight line, and I'm going to make a square. Remember, I'm making squares, and I want to make sure that all of my squares are on the paper. Now, they might not be completely equal. I'm just doing 3 lines down my paper, just like that. So now it looks like I have 4 columns on my paper, and I know it's tough to see with the light in here, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, and there's 1, 2, 3 lines. Now, I have my lines going that way, so now I'm going to turn my paper sideways, and I'm going to go across those lines, and I'm going to make squares. So there's 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines, and suddenly, magically, I have a bingo card. Do it this way. 4 by 4. So I drew one really quickly. It's very easy. Or, again, if you got the email, you can see the attachment if you have a printer at home. And I know not everybody has a printer, so that's okay. So you can draw your own if you like, or you can print it off. Now that you have your bingo board ready to go, I want you to pick one or the other, or maybe you can mix them together. The first thing you can choose is to draw letters. And you're going to put 1 letter inside each square. Okay, 1 letter inside each square. If you want to, and you want to make it a little trickier, you can try using our high frequency words that we've been working on. So you might put a word like at inside one of the squares, or if inside one of the squares, or is, or it, or and, or am, or I, or at, or a. Lots of words that we've been working on, but you can also do letters. If you want, you can do a board where you mix them together. You can do letters and words. So really quick, on my bingo board that I had printed, I'm just going to quickly do some letters and some words. I'm going to mix mine together, so I can do any letter I want, or I can do any word that I would like as well. So far, I put A, and I put am, and I put C, and at, and is, and I. And I'm going to fill up all my squares. Okay? So once you've filled up all your squares, or if you made your own, you're going to fill up all your squares. Okay? You can find an adult or somebody else, and they're going to be the bingo caller. So what they're going to do is they're going to call out a letter, and once they call out that letter, if they call out that word, you're going to cover it on your bingo board. Okay? I have my trusty seashells here that I have. And so if a letter is called out, like C, I'm going to take my seashell and I'm going to cover the letter C on my bingo board because it's already been called. So now it's covered. And the first one to make a line, or a diagonal line, up and down or sideways, wins the game. Okay? Now, for those of you who might think this is a little bit on the tricky side, you can make more than 1 bingo board so that other people can play with you. And if you really, really, really want to, and you want to be the person that's doing the calling, then you have to create those cards that go with it. So all of the things that I wrote on here, I would have to make a little, on a separate piece of paper, I would have to write them all out again and then cut them out. Because somebody needs to be able to reach in and shake around all the things and pick one out and read it. So for bingo to work, where you're playing a game, you need someone to be the caller. And they can either look at your sheet and be the caller, or you can create a list. And then they can call words or letters off that list, and the first person to win. Okay? All right, guys, good luck with your sight word and letter bingo. Enjoy.